So Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner have been highlighted in a brand new book that shows that they sparred a lot with many White House officials. Now, this is according to journalist Vicky Ward's new book, Kushner Inc. Now, in the book, aides were concerned that Kushner and Trump, Ivanka, had mixed their government work and personal interests together in sort of what we would call a conflict of interest, and had lacked proper expertise for the work that they were trying to do. And to that I say, of course, no duh. Really? Oh, you just figured that out. We knew that day one. Is Jared Kushner qualified to be the Middle East guy to try to bring peace to the Middle East? No, of course not. He's not qualified for anything. He's an idiot, a buffoon. He's almost like Donald Trump, blundering everything that he's ever done. And Ivanka Trump, again, she's not qualified for anything. She may look smart, given the fact that she actually speaks in complete sentences, but in reality, she is a Trump. Not very smart. Not a very stable genius. Okay, anyway. Now, let me go through some of these conflicts with you because they're fun. The first was with former Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. Now, Rex Tillerson, not a good guy. He was the CEO of ExxonMobil. And the only reason he was in the administration was to facilitate a $500 million oil deal with Russia, which, of course, would have made ExxonMobil incredibly rich. Okay. Now, Tillerson apparently was aghast at how stupid and unqualified Kushner was. And in fact, he was very worried about Kushner's dealings with the Middle East and for Trump's endorsement of a blockade of Qatar by Saudi Arabia. Tillerson told Kushner, quote, that his interference had endangered the United States. Now, that is an unidentified Tillerson aide telling Vicky Ward. Tillerson also is said to have read, quote, negative chatter about himself in intelligence reports after Kushner had talked bad about him to Kushner's friend, Mohammed bin Salman, or as I like to call him, Mohammed Bone Salman. Gee, I wonder what that could say. Interesting. Now, look, Jared Kushner, we know he's got a relationship with MBS. And so MBS, if you didn't already know, he basically is the guy who ordered the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. Jamal Khashoggi is a U.S.-based journalist, of course, that worked for the Washington Post. That guy was literally dismembered alive. So Jared Kushner being friends with that guy, not great. And, of course, standing up for Saudi Arabia and getting Donald Trump essentially to back the Saudi blockade of Qatar. And, of course, the reason for that had to do with, Qatar not actually loaning Kushner money. So that goes back to the conflicts of interest that we keep talking about. But there's more. It's not just with Rex Tillerson. It's also with former economic advisor Gary Cohn. Now, he is said to have gone after Kushner in January 2017 after it was revealed that Kushner had had a dinner with executives from a Chinese corporation. Now, this is a financial institution called Anbang, which was considering investing in the Kushner property at 666 Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. Now, that is a doomed property that was massively underwater, a ridiculous investment, and Kushner was trying to use his contacts and to use his influence in the government to try to petition foreign countries to donate not donate, but to finance his building, his tower. Now, Cohn is said to have told Kushner in front of others, quote, "You've got to be crazy." Well, crazy like a fox, apparently, because he ended up getting funding from the government of Qatar. Now, here's the thing. Kushner at the time met executives. Kushner met the executives around the time that he hosted Chinese government officials at the Fifth Avenue Tower. So again, big conflict of interest here. And according to a report by NBC News, Mueller's investigation ended up going to Kushner and looking into him because of that conflict of interest. And also from the efforts to use that power to finance that project. Okay. So now first, again, he tried going for the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Qatar. They were rejected. Later on, Qatar's neighbors, including Saudi Arabia, began a blockade, alleging that the state was a state supporter of terrorism. Trump approved the blockade because Trump, Kushner is Trump's advisor in the Middle East policy, and he worked together with Mohammed bin Salman. Now, this and other attempts to get financing for that building, 666 5th Street, from Russia, China, and Turkey have drawn investigators to scrutinize Kushner's serious conflicts of interest. Now, there's one more criticism here in the book, and this one, again, it's more fun. The couple was apparently derided by White House insiders for meddling too much and lacking the skills for good governance. Ward claims that White House staffers made fun of Kushner for trying to be the, quote, secretary of everything. And Ivanka Trump's team was labeled hobby. Now, what does that mean? What does that stand for? Home of all bad ideas. Ivanka Trump is literally known as the home of bad ideas. That's awesome. And just to top it off, former Chief of Staff John Kelly said the couple was, quote, just playing government. They don't know what they're doing. These two are idiots. They have no expertise. They have no knowledge that is useful for government. And they're just pretending that they know what they're doing. Lovely. Now, here's the final kicker, right? So, Ivanka Trump, despite all this, despite having no political experience, still not having really any experience or any idea what she's doing, envisions a Trump dynasty. Cohn told Ward, quote, she thinks she's going to be president of the United States. Ivanka Trump, the next president of the United States. Laugh along with me. President Ivanka. Hilarious. Even more so than her dad, of course, who, by the way, single-handedly ruined the Trump brand with his presidency. You think that people are going to elect daddy's girl, Ivanka Trump? She hasn't done a damn thing for herself, right? At least Donald Trump could put up the illusion that he's a successful businessman. Ivanka Trump was literally handed everything. You've got to be crazy to think that she would win. Or have your head really far stuck up your own ass. I mean, look, I don't think it's controversial to say that I don't think the American electorate will allow another Trump presidency, at least after this one. Now, maybe there's enough hangers-on to get Trump elected. I'm actually really starting to doubt that. But again, if they put up probably one of the worst corporate Democrats, then maybe he's got a good chance at re-election, right? And what's interesting enough is Donald Trump's got actually some pretty good indicators that he could win. I mean, look, an economy that is not in free fall, right? I know that some will be like, oh, it's a good economy. It's not in free fall. So I guess whatever, right? Lower unemployment, etc., right? But he is so unpopular. And the only reason that he won last time is because he had the benefit of running against someone even more unpopular than he is, which is amazing that the Democrats would pick him in the first place. Or her, sorry. Imagine if the Democrats this time nominate a real progressive to run against Trump. You think there's going to be a political dynasty after that? I don't think so. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.